And our top focus story is 12 years after the Godhra train burning incident. Justice Nanavati and Justice Mehta have handed over the 2002 riots report, Gujarat riots report to Gujarat Chief Minister Anandiben Patel. 25 extensions and 12 years later, this report, the Nanavati-Mehta Commission report, has finally been submitted. The two-member commission, Justice GT Nanavati, retired High Court Judge Justice Akshay Mehta, they've submitted their report to the Chief Minister, and this report has been submitted to the Chief Minister in a sealed cover at her residence. Now, the submissions of this, with the submission of this report, this is perhaps one of the most significant and controversial chapters in the 2002 Godhra Train Carnage and the subsequent 2002 Gujarat riots. And National Affairs Editor, Executive Editor Javed Ansari now joins us with the latest. Javed, 25 extensions later, the report finally submitted.
Yes, finally submitted, but however, we don't know the contents of the report. One can only hope that after 12 years, this report will have done justice and would have been worth the number of extensions it has got. One can also hope, one can only hope that it will ultimately bring about closure and help meet the ends of justice and try and heal the wounds of all those, irrespective of which community they belong to, all those who suffered in the unfortunate events, the ghastly events at Godhra and thereafter.
In this final report, the Commission was also expected to give its opinion on and also its recommendations on the road ahead to prevent a situation like Godhra and the riots that took place after that. For the moment, Javed Ansari, many thanks for joining me. And we're shifting focus to the big story that we're tracking here on headlines today, and that's that controversial godman Rampal, the siege at his ashram and the protests that are now taking place at Jantar Mantar. Hundreds of his supporters have reached Jantar Mantar. They've laid siege. They want police action to be called off. This is the first police barricade, and the supporters are trying to break that barricade, scale that barricade, and move towards the Home Minister's office.
Hello.
And headlines today is Preeti Chaudhary joins us with the latest. Let's listen in first to Preeti's report from Jantar Mantar.
Well, the fallout of what's happening in Hisar playing out right now here at Jantar Mantar. Police in full riot gear. On the right hand side of me, about 6 water cannons ready to take center stage the minute the command is given. I'll ask Tahir, my camera person, to point out to the left hand side. Over 5,000 protesters of Rampal, the self-styled guru, right now, looking at breaching these barricades. We were talking to the police a short while back. This time they are exercising extreme caution considering the kind of flack that the police has got on what's taking place in Hisar at this point of time. The protesters here want to breach these barricades, want to walk all the way to the Supreme Court, which is about 2 kilometers from Jantar Mantar. The police here in absolutely no mood to allow that. What we are expecting is going to be a face-off right now. Right now, the eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation also taking place right here at Jantar Mantar, while, of course, the battle ensuing in Hisar at the Satlok Ashram of Rampal. Reporting with camera person Tahir Chaudhary at Jantar Mantar, Preeti Chaudhary for Headlines Today.
Now, these protesters at Jantar Mantar want the police action to be called off. The police action that started around 12 this afternoon, now it's a little after 3:30, and police action is now, according to our sources in Haryana Police, it will enter its decisive phase before sundown. The police intend to move in, arrest the controversial godman and present him in a court of law in the next 24 hours. Will they succeed remains the big question, because hundreds of the Baba's supporters, armed with petrol bombs, acid pouches, country-made weapons, sticks, stones, are targeting the Haryana police. The operation that started a little after 12 this afternoon is still to succeed. There are many women, many children who are being used as a human shield, and the Haryana police explain that's the reason why they haven't been able to enter the ashram so far. and arrest the controversial godman who's wanted for murder and attempt to murder. There were over 40 hearings in this murder and attempt to murder case where the controversial godman Rampal did not attend those hearings, and then there is a non-bailable arrest warrant against him. Headlines today is Preeti Chaudhary now joins us from Jantar Mantar with the latest. We'll also go to Ankit Tyagi in Hisar. But Preeti, coming to you first. The Baba appears to have a coordinated strategy. The police mounted an operation in Haryana and his supporters came out on the streets in Delhi.
Well, you're completely right, Gaurav. Just to give you perspective on what we are witnessing here, about 4,000 supporters of Rampal right behind me at Jantar Mantar. It's a concerted strategy. I was just talking to the Additional Commissioner of Police, SBS Tyagi, and he did say that they are exercising utmost caution. But the plan for the supporters of Rampal is to breach these barricades and march all the way to the Supreme Court. And that looks imminent in just some time right now. They're waiting for directions. That is what we are told. It's a coordinated effort on what's going on in Hisar, and of course the ramifications, the fallout of that which we are witnessing right now at Jantar Mantar. There are 4 or 5 people who are managing these crowds here, giving them instructions, and each one of them are taking telephonic orders from what the police believes is coming in directly from Hisar. Till now, they're only protesting, sloganeering, posturing to breach barricades. They haven't done anything, but the police keeping nothing to chance, because we are talking about crowds which are surging, over 4,000 odd crowds. They've told the press to move away a little, so we've actually come about 200 meters from where the crowds are actually surging. But to give our viewers perspective, right here you can see water cannons on the other side. And there are about 4 entrances right now to the place where they are protesting, and each of those roads are marked with about 6 water cannons. So that is plan A right now where the police is concerned. The minute the crowds look at breaching the barricades to march to Supreme Court, the police is looking at opening water cannons here, taking nothing to chance, especially with what is playing out right now in Hisar, which is pretty much converted into a battle zone. A lot of flack coming the police's way also for maybe miscalculating the situation. Delhi police taking absolutely nothing to chance. They've been making announcements incessantly. We've had 3 announcements being made in the last 10 minutes where they've pleaded with the crowds to disperse and calm down. It's back to the studio.
Preeti Chaudhary, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. I will continue to come back to you for the latest developments on this big story. So there